Guys, in today's video, it's out with the old. And in with the older. Let's do it.
So guys, it's been a long time since I've done any work on the car that you've seen on camera, because a lot of the stuff I do is kind of boring. You're not going to want to see it. But this, I think you're going to want to see. We're going to be swapping the quarter panels. And I'll show you a little bit from like a month or two ago from when I did this. Took these off, sandblasted them, got them ready. I'm pretty sure some of you guys remember these quarter panels. These were taken off of a parts car that I got that someone was going to make it to a trailer. Cut those off poorly. Thought it was one of my first disassembly jobs I've ever done. But I bought them because of the fin, knowing that the quarter would need to get replaced. Ended up buying these from a very talented metal fab team up in Canada. I'll put a link down to them, or I'll just post their contact information right here if you guys are wanting to purchase some of these. These are specifically made for 59 millimeters. So the guys completely hand roll these from scratch. I can see that there's a little bit I'll need to do. I'll need to shape to get that curve down back here. It's pretty much where it needs to be. But they ended up giving me like it's an entire quarter. Normally online I see people selling maybe like the bottom lower piece. Oh, also there is another piece that's coming. It's just it's coming in the package that has the fender skirt. It's just going to take a second. But anyways, these are entire quarters that are meant for a 59 millimeter. So they're shaped like the limo and coupe, even though this is a sedan quarter panel. So the fin shape is a little different. I really don't care. What I'm going to do is I'm using this just to see where the line was, and just like I thought, it's all the way up. So I'm going to be sandblasting. I'm going to practice on some of the white down here that's getting cut off and thrown in the trash. I'm going to practice on that to see how I do. Then I'll sandblast the outer both sides, and I'll do the inside. The inside, the fin, is the only part that's rusty. Down on the bottom it's really nice, but up here where water kind of got trapped and moisture kind of rose, I guess, it's really bad up inside there. So I'll see if I can sandblast inside. Try to get these clean and prepped for the install, so we can just throw some primer on them and good to go. Okay, these are done mostly. I gotta miss a spot there, but honestly, wire wheel will fix that up. It's not a big deal. I kind of want to stop. So we got the inside. You can't see it, but it's certainly better. I think I'll do like a rust reformer primer, or maybe a Ospho. I'll do something more on that. I just kind of did it up to here because this is all coming off. So I'm only doing the top part. Got those done, looking nice. Didn't uncover too much bad metal, but whatever is bad, like up on here, like towards the end up there, I'm gonna use the part of the quarter panel, like here for instance. You see all that that's like poking through. So I'm gonna be using this section from the current Hearst fin, because that's all really good on mine. So I'll be doing patches. I'll mix and match, and we'll have something really good at the end of it. But yeah, there's that. We're gonna start with removing the trim, removing the windows, getting all this out. Then I'm going to do some, I might cover that with a welding blanket just to keep it from getting scored. Then we're going to start cutting. We'll remove the rear bumper, start cutting this out. Hopefully today we'll be able to get this 1959 panel installed. This is sandblasted, so I need to primer it inside and out just to keep it from rusting. We'll go ahead and do that, and then hopefully today we can get this thing actually set up at least on one side. Son? You need this? Oh, I see it moving. Wait. It's like off on this side. Have you noticed that? Oh, sorry. Did I hurt you? I thought I crushed your hand. You look like you got came on by a mummy. Nice. All the prep work is done and we can begin cutting now. So windows are out, trim is out, rear bumper's down. Before I did that, I was supposed to measure the middle, but I think I can still do that with put tape and a tape measure from side to side. I need to measure exactly where everything is, where the middle of everything is. Which, you know, I don't want to do it middle of the door. I want to do it by middle of the fins because, you know, that's the way to do it. I don't know. I don't trust the bodywork to be perfectly in the middle because this is a very hand-built car. So we're going to need to make this panel now. This one, it was bent up like this before, but this chicken shit little piece, we're going to need to make a new one for the new 59 bumper shape. We'll start with cutting this one off. And I'm going to go from the outside. I'll leave about this much probably. I might just cut here, just right above the fender skirt. And I'll just bastardize it. I'll show you what's going on. So this is all the 1962 stuff. Here is the 1959 fender, taken off my sedan parts car. I sandblasted it, just need to lay some primer down on it like I said earlier. Where are the new ones? Right there. Here are the brand new 1959 quarter panels. I'm gonna have to prime those as well. Those are the full length quarters. Very glad to have them. I don't need to worry about doing any body work like at Bondo, which I dent removal on these. Don't have to do any patches. I'll just cut straight down this sandblasting line, basically like here. This is kind of where it lays, and then good. This is the bad rust spot on the fender that I think I'm going to have to use a good amount from this fin. It's not the exact same, but I think I'm going to use some of this fin in order to fix that up. Because it's just going to be like there and there. I can just take two pieces from the top of that and it'll be the same. Either that or I just make some L's, but whatever. Oh, and the inner quarters. So I have everything. There is the bumper. The only thing I don't have on the rear bumper, I need to get it fully re-chromed, and I need spacers that go in between. So if you see that spacer right there, that's what the Miller Meteors use. I think all the hearses use them. Superior, Eureka, I think they all use that spacer to widen it out. It's not a perfectly straight body line on the side of the car. So I don't have the 59 bumper spacers. My buddy Dan said he'll be sending me some, but I don't know how long it's going to take. So I'm going to see. I'm either going to modify the ones I've got, or I'll just throw them on and leave them, even though they don't fit exactly the same way. I don't really care. I'll do one or the other, whatever I feel like on that given day. But I'll throw those ones on for now to get the spacing right. Then that will determine where the bumpers go for the 59. So once the bumpers are cut, once the fenders are cut off, this will be what I use to kind of guide it. As for the fenders, we're going to start with the passenger side. Like I said, go ahead and cut that after lunch. Lay the other one in place. Hopefully it'll be able to. And then if I can tack it, sorry. If I can tack it, I will. I don't know how much I'll have to cut in order for it to lay in, but we'll figure that out in a little bit. So I'm at an impasse right now. I can either start cutting this or sand, get a little bit of the rust, Ospho, wash it off, just clear the rust up, and then begin priming. And I don't know what I prefer doing. I think I might start with this if I can find a water hose, because I need to be able to wash the Ospho off. Let me think. Let me see if I can find one. If you guys are curious what Ospho looks like when it's actually in action, this is just sandblasted metal that I touched, and the oil on my hands rusted them. And so this is the Ospho spray, and it converts it into iron phosphate instead of iron oxide, I believe. I don't remember. I think it adds zinc phosphate to it. I don't remember the exact chemical names. I don't want to sound like an idiot, but it changes it into paintable steel. So all that black is rust that is paintable. It's not going to be eating away at itself anymore. Cancer is gone. So just a little bit of that. You let it sit for a little bit, and then you hose it all off, and then it's gone. And then you're good to go. Well, that's that. What a pain. Jeez, that sucked. I had to cut half of them off. I think we have enough cut off to go ahead and try to test fit. Unless this gets in the way, in which case I'll need to remove this flange and this flange. Other than that, I think we'll be good. Let's try it. Alright, here's our first rough approximation of where it's gonna stay. I got this measurement right, so I know height wise we're in the ballpark now. Width wise, I got no idea. I think we're good up there, but I think it's cocked because of this down here. This panel has to come out and I need to make a new one anyways, so I gotta drop this. I don't want to remove this housing material because I need as much of that as I can get. This I'm okay with removing though. This is gonna get cut off at some point because that body line doesn't match anything, so we'll get rid of that at some point. But that'll get the width right, or the height right. As for this, the reason that this isn't engaging, I have a little bit of material that's interfering up here, and I wanted to keep as much of this as possible, but once I get the bumper to verify the depth, that's gonna be the next step. Once I know how much it needs to come in or out, I'll mark how much of this to cut off, because I don't want to cut it too deep. I don't want to cut it too shallow. If I cut it too deep, I'm losing a lot of material because there's a big pocket here. My goal is to match it up to this. All of this is really good metal that I'll be able to keep. So let's go ahead and get the bumper put on with just one side like this. I'll throw the spacer on to get the width right, throw it up, and then use that to verify the depth. Alright, I drilled this out, and so now I'll be able to put a hole here and here. I don't really need to put them everywhere. This is just a very loose mock fit. These aren't going to stay on the bumper forever. I have another set that I'll get. And even if they do, I'm not going to do more than these two holes. I think those are fine. And then I went and did it all the way through the other side, so I can throw it straight on this one. Let's do it. Look at that. Is it perfect? No. But it fits. So up here, that's roughly where I'll do my cut. I'll go ahead and do it like this just in case. That'll help me get closer. I can trim that up as I need. Really, I wish I would have cut this further back, but I wasn't thinking about this. That's my mistake. Thankfully, I still have this, so I can make patches out of that all I want. Up here, we're starting to rub in there, so I think I'll go ahead and cut under here, straight down, because all of that needs to come out. And this, you see how it's interfering with that seam? That seam needs to stay. This needs to go. Actually, that needs to go. What am I thinking? I need this. Yeah, don't be an idiot. Okay, I need to get this part off of that seam. So, whew, glad I thought about that for a second. I'm going to cut this off. This will stay, and then I'll trim it as I need in order to get it to butt in. This is all going to come off, but I'll leave that for the end. But dude, isn't that awesome? Look at the difference. That dog still don't like this car. That's all right. Wow. Okay, so I've been told that this will need to get trimmed just a little bit, so I'll go ahead and do that. But I just need to get it enough to bring this in a little bit, and I'm gonna try just tapping it with a hammer, see if I can bring it in a little bit, and then I'll try to mark with paint where this is gonna have to be trimmed. Hopefully that'll be close enough. I don't know, we'll find out. Show you what I mean. So you see from here, it's really hard to tell. Like the other one, hell, you can't even see it, it's so small. But like, the other one looks like it goes straight down real nice. This one, less. It goes pretty good, but it just kind of cocks off to the side. And I'd rather bring it in. I'm gonna have to get this one on before I can find out if this needs to go in or out. Because once I have the other spacer and the other taillight housing on this one, I can actually gauge from the middle. This is where I think, wait, did it move? You were over here, now you're over there. What happened to you? Let me move that in a little bit. Yeah, I need to go ahead and just cut this off. It's getting dark. I might have to stop for the day. Yeah, all of this is going to have to come off. I think I'll leave it like this and just think about it for a couple days. So here's the status of the other side. It is for sure worse than the other one. Still not awful, I guess. That patch doesn't look like it'll be too hard to make, actually. That's the one that's rusted from the outside from the gas. That doesn't look too bad. Up here, I'll definitely need to sand, knock everything down, and then spray some Ospho because that stuff is pretty gross. That surface looks about the same here. That is kind of dirty. This was where that little mouse nest was, and it's I think I've still got good metal. I guess I caught it in time. Oh, I take it back. There's a little hole right there. Oh, Actually, that just might be what this was filling up, so that's not too bad. I think they used this, it almost ends up looking like concrete. It's like, what is that stuff they sell at like O'Reilly's? It's like steel rubber, or it's something where, no, it's not steel rubber. It's like JB Weld. It's almost like JB Weld because it's rock solid, but I can tell that it was a putty silicon-based thing that came out of a tube at one point. So that's what they used to seam seal that. I'm gonna have to find something like a modern replacement for that. Gross. Yeah. So anyways, that goes in the corner. I kind of want to seam seal all the way up there, all the way up that crevice. I'll probably still be able to reuse this rubber even though I cut a little bit of it. I think I'll still use this. That'll work fine. I want to cut these, or try to reuse this same panel. I don't want to remake it. I'll just undo all those screws, pull that out. So much work. And then this is you can see from the top view. There's a lot of, this one is the worst part, but it's like that all the way down here. So this quarter panel was no good anyways. I'll have to sawzall the wheel well from my other car and try to bring it down a little bit, get rid of all this. So this whole bottom's coming out. Yuck. Let me get this out and then we can start worrying about placement of the fin. Alright, it's the next day. That bumper took so much out of me. It's the next day. I'd spent hours trying to get that little stupid piece off. I thought that would take like 20-30 minutes to take off. At least 2 or 3 hours. Those nuts and bolts were fighting me really bad. So I'll go and throw that on and that on right there so I can get the distance like I wanted to yesterday. Yippee! So I don't know if I showed you guys how I did the last one, but I'll show you now. I'm just drilling one extra hole right down there. So it's going to be hardware there and hardware in this hole, none of the others. This is only temporary because I'm hoping my buddy Dan will have some 59 shape spacers for me soon, but until then, these I'll have to do. Well, a lot has happened in the last hour or so, or more than 2 hours. I went ahead and got everything removed from in here. So that little panel that sits down, it's removed on this side. All the lead's been removed, so I'll be able to knock that out. I removed the filler, it's way up in there. So all this will need to get reworked. I'm 50-50 on it right now because I don't know how much work it'll be. Really depends on how easy it is. But in the new movie, the filler is like kind of up here in this area, and so if it's simple to do, I'll move it up. If not, I'll just repair this and rust reform it and then put the old pieces right back where they were. But all this needs to get repaired. I need to make a patch right all the way there, all the way up here. So that's going to be a lot. I don't need to do as much over on that one, but I still need to figure out why that little dent is being pushed out. But I've got it really straight ish. I need to remove something in here, and I don't know what, but it needs to come down by about a ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch, and it's not wanting to yet. So I got to think about that a little bit more, and I want to be careful because I don't want to remove something that I desperately need. But I've got it lined up. I mean, I think it's lined up pretty well. You can see like this. Like, it kind of goes in a little bit, but it's negligible. I think it only goes in because the outside needs to get pushed down. Over here, it's actually really good. You see, compared to that line, that's really good. That one is nice. That's why I think this one, I think once I get it tightened in, I think it'll be pushed in a little bit more to where it'll be straight. Basically, what I'm trying to say is this will come in a little bit, and this will most likely stay in the same place. I think if I grab a tape measure, it should be about 71 1/4. I still haven't gotten word back from my buddies on where this should be, but I'm at 70 3/4 now, whereas on the last fins I was 71 1/4, so it's like just a 1/2 inch off. I don't know which one needs to move. Probably this one, but it already looks kind of wonky, so I don't know. I think I just need to keep messing around with it, just fiddling here and there. And I don't know what I'll be able to do once I figure out where it is. All I know that I can do right now, I can prep the inner fenders. I can cut this to where maybe I can start tacking it in right there, because I think this one's height is where it needs to be. I'll do a little bit of adjustment, micro adjustment off camera, and then we'll touch base in a little bit. Sorry, this is the next week. I got a haircut. I forgot to film an outro, but that's the end of part 1. Part 2 is going to be coming out in a couple weeks. That's what I'm doing right now. So stay tuned for that. Bye.